In this video, we'll be looking at how to do mathematical operations in JavaScript. So we have lots of cases where we have to add, subtract, multiply, divide things in the program. So we're going to look at how to do all those things. So first thing we want to do is let's add a little bit of detail to our notes here. So this is how we assign a new value to a variable. Alright, and then we're going to want to comment this out. So we still have it for our notes, but we don't want to be constantly resetting these variables if we're going to be doing some math in here. So we're just going to comment that out, and then we will give ourselves a little bit of space to work right here, because we're going to be doing our math right here in our update function. So let's make a new heading here. This is going to be how to do math. And we're going to start with addition. So how do we do addition in here? So let's use our ammo variable. And let's say that we have ammo packs in our game that we can walk into and pick up so we can add to our ammo. So if we walk into one of those, we need to add more ammo to our ammo that's available to us. That's being held in our ammo variable. So ammo equals ammo plus, let's say it's worth 50 more rounds. So ammo equals ammo plus 50. We'll add 50 to our current ammo. What it does is it says, okay, ammo equals, and what's ammo going to equal? The current value of ammo, which is 500. Actually, it's going to be 100 now because we're going back up to our variable here. So our current value of ammo is 100. We're going to add 50 to that. So we're going to get 150. That will be stored in our variable. And then when we come down to print, it'll tell us 150. Now, the other thing to think about is, since we're in the update function, remember this runs every frame. So maybe 60 or more times per second this is running. So ammo is going to have this happen to it every time the frame updates. So we're going to see that number jumping up by 50 every frame. So it's going to get large very quickly. Let's save the file. Let's come to a Unity editor and test it out and see if it does what we think it should. I'm only going to run this for a second because it's going to do this a whole bunch of times. I had a lot of messages in the console, so let's scroll up to the top. So the very first line says 150. Well, that's because ammo is 100. We ran through update. These functions run from top to bottom. They do the instructions in order. It adds 50 to my ammo, so that makes ammo 150. And then it printed ammo, so 150. And then it printed money, character name, and is alive. And then we go down here, and then every frame added to our money. So we have our ammo. So we have 200 ammo, 250, 300, 350, 400, so forth and so on, just going up by 50s. So that's how you add to a variable. Now there's a couple of different ways we can do this. So let's put a little comment here. This is what is considered the long way, or the more typing way to do this. In programming, there's lots of little shorthand, shortcuts, ways that we can type things with less amount of typing. So let me show you this way. This is ammo. Now instead of saying ammo equals ammo plus 50, I can say ammo plus sign equals sign ammo. Got to make sure I don't put any spaces in between the plus and the equal sign. When the computer sees the operator, the plus sign, before the equal sign, it knows that what I really mean is ammo equals ammo plus 50. So it's the same way of writing this out. So I can write it out the long way here, or I can write it the short way here. This is a shortcut built into the editor. So this is the shortcut. And you'll see this used a lot as we go forward. We're almost always going to save ourselves the extra typing. Oh, wow, I made a mistake there. It's going to be ammo plus equals ammo. Well, that would be ammo plus the variable value of ammo, so that would add 100 each time. I actually wanted to do 50. So Let's do it like that. So again, we can say ammo equals ammo plus 50, or I can say ammo plus equals 50, which is the same thing. It means the same thing as ammo equals ammo plus 50, just a different way to write it. Alright, and then there's one more. We'll test this out in a second here. Well, let's test it out right now. So let's comment out the long way here, so that we're making sure we're only testing this new line. We'll save our file. We'll come clear our console. And it should do the same thing now that it just did. So run it, stop it, go up to the top. So again, it starts at 150, goes to 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, so forth and so on. So it does the exact same thing, just with less typing. So a different way to type this in. Now, many times in our programming, we want to add 1 to something. So those are called counters. We use counters all the time, and they're just keeping track, or they're counting. So we want to add 1. So if I want to add 1, I can type it out a couple of different ways. Let's comment out this one. I could type, if I wanted to add 1 to ammo, I could say ammo equals ammo plus 1. That's the long way. Okay. I could write ammo plus equals 1. That's the short way that we just saw. Or if I'm adding 1, this only works if you're adding 1, I can write it like this: ammo plus plus. So all three of these are the same. Ammo equals ammo plus 1 is the same as ammo plus equals 1 is the same as ammo plus plus. So this is a special shortcut for adding 1 to any variable. It only works if I'm adding 1. If I add anything more than 1, I've got to use one of the first two methods here. Alright, so again, this is just to put our comments in. This is the long way. This one here is the shortcut. And the plus plus, let's say plus plus adds 1 to ammo. That's the shortcut for adding 1. And that's built in because, like I said, we're always adding 1 to things many times. So this is a quick way to do that. So you'll see this going forward. Whenever we need to add 1, we're going to use plus plus. So you're free to test out those different versions of this if you wish. I'm just going to comment them out so we can keep on going down. And the next thing we're going to do is look at subtraction. So subtraction. Okay, so subtraction and addition are pretty much exact, except that we're using a minus sign instead of a plus sign. So again, I could say ammo equals ammo minus 50, let's say minus 10. So that will take 10 away from ammo each time this instruction runs. So we'll test it. Let's save it. We'll clear out our console and we'll play it just for a second here, because it's going to do this every frame in the update function. So again, you see ammo's initial value is going to be 90 because ammo starts at 100, so 100 minus 10 is 90. And then as we scroll down in our console here, you'll see it's dropping by 10 every frame. We're dropping it by 10, and then we get negative ammo after a bit. So it just continues to go down and go down and go down. Alright, so again, this is the long way to write this. Alright, and as you may have already guessed, we can write this with our little shortcut way. We just would have to say minus equals. So this shortcut actually works with all 4 mathematical operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That will work. So that's a nice built-in feature. That's our shortcut. And then we can also use our subtract 1 shortcut here as well. So for addition and subtraction, if we do the 2 operator signs next to each other, so ammo minus minus, that will take 1 away from ammo. because there's many times where we're subtracting and adding 1 to something. So perhaps every time you shoot a bullet, you got to take 1 away from your ammo, so you just say ammo minus minus, that would subtract 1. So it's just a quick way of typing that in, saves us some typing. So we'll say here minus minus subtracts 1 from ammo. Alright, so feel free to test those out if you need to explore this some more. But that is subtraction. So we'll just comment out those lines again. Make some more room here. Let's look at multiplication next. Multiplication. Okay, so I bet you could probably figure out how to do multiplication and division. So I want you to write it the long way and the shortcut way. There is no times times or divide divide, because if we took anything times 1 or divided by 1, we'd get the number we started with, so that's not needed, so that's not in here. And just to help you out here to get multiplication, let's make room for our division. So do this on your own. The multiplication symbol is the asterisk key, and the division symbol is just 1 /. So those are the symbols that you use. So I want you to pause the video right here and write out the long way and the shortcut way to do multiplication and division. So pause now and let's see if you got this. Let's look at how to do multiplication and division. Hopefully you were successful in getting this written out. So multiplication, again, let's say we take ammo and we want to take it times something. Okay, so we can say ammo equals ammo times 10. So that's our long way. Alright, our shortcut is ammo times equals. Again, put the mathematical operator symbol before the equal sign, and we can say times equals 10, and that's our shortcut. It means the same thing. So this is our shortcut. And then for division, we can say ammo equals ammo divided by 10. That's our long way of doing this. And or we could use our shortcut, which is ammo divide equal 10. So again, that's our shortcut. And there you have it. That's all there really is to adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Feel free to spend some time in here if you need to play with it some more to really get the concept down. You can try using some different variables. You could try different numbers, different combinations. So these are the basics of doing math. And of course we can write complex mathematical formulas in here which combine all the different addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. The computer will follow the order of operations, so it will do multiplication, then division, then addition, then subtraction. It follows that order just like you would have learned in your math class. So feel free to play in this some more if you need to. When you're done, let's make sure we just comment everything out so that we can continue going on, and this just becomes notes for you, but it's notes that actually will work in the program if you were to run it. So again, feel free to test it out, spend whatever amount of time you need to here until you really feel like you got all this down, and then we'll move on to our next section.